Michael Jackson is reportedly not his kid's biological father, but we may know who is. Debbie Rowe is reportedly not their mother, but she contests that. You'd think something like that would be relatively easy to prove. There is a will, but Papa Joe isn't in it, and $48,000 a month for prescription drugs. And you wonder why we need the public option. Our number one story on the countdown, let me say this again. This carnival is going to be in town for a while. According to TMZ, the King of Pop is not the biological father of any of his 3 children, and the ex-wife, Debbie Rowe, is not the biological mother of the 2 oldest, although that is being disputed by Rowe's lawyer. And the surrogate who gave birth to his youngest son never knew who she was carrying the child for. Now there's word that Jackson never legally adopted any of his children, which could leave in question Mother Catherine's custody claims. Of course, there's more. U.S. Weekly claiming the sperm donor for the 2 oldest kids is celebrity dermatologist Dr. Arnold Klein. And that's the same Dr. Klein who the Hollywood Reporter says wrote some of the prescriptions Michael Jackson was spending the $48,000 a month on, and who also introduced the pop icon to his young nursing assistant at the time, Debbie Rowe. NBC News has confirmed there is a will to be presented in court tomorrow, splitting his estate between his mother and 3 children and at least 1 charity, but leaving nothing to his father. And the requisite memorial is forming at Neverland Ranch, where reports say the fallen icon's body might be taken sometime Thursday. Memorial plans, public or private, have not been finalized, but even the rumor of possible events open to the public at Neverland has people already lining up just in case.
I'm staying in my car, actually. Yeah.
Andrew Blankstein continues to cover all this for the Los Angeles Times and continues to be generous enough to join us with the latest. Thank you again for that, sir.
Thank you.
How much more of a legal mess is custody here if Jackson never adopted those kids?
Well, we're very much at the beginning of this, and although there's lots of reports, there's going to be people who will invariably come forward in court to issue these challenges, or maybe not. And that's part of the guessing game that's going on right now. A lot of public pronouncements, not a lot of substance in terms of documents filed.
What do we know about this process by which Debbie Rowe became the surrogate mother, if indeed she did? Is that all in question now, or does that fall in that same category you just mentioned of maybe?
It falls into the same category. And again, just because somebody makes these public pronouncements doesn't mean that in the end it's going to be part of a court document. And that's part of the waiting game and also part of the speculation game.
This Dr. Klein, the dermatologist, might have been the real sperm donor in one case, might have written some of the prescriptions. Certainly, it can't be coincidence that his nursing assistant was Debbie Rowe, introducing her to Michael Jackson. Presumably even might have, I don't know, done some dermatological work with Jackson. This is a full-service doctor right here. Who is this guy, and where does he fit into this? Is there any way to tell?
Well, in terms of the LAPD investigation, they have said that they are going to be questioning people who provided medical treatment for Michael Jackson. But the question is, and we've seen this in the past few days, there's a number of doctors' names who've surfaced. There was a nutritionist who surfaced this afternoon, giving an interview to the Associated Press about something that she had administered to Jackson, a sedative. So each day we get someone new that's emerging, and then speculation that this might be the person connected to his final moments. And the fact is that we just don't know, and that's part of what the toxicology is going to determine, and part of what the interview process is going to be determined by detectives.
You raise a great point now. As the world's media of all origins, languages, and degrees of seriousness descends on this story, the volume of information is likely to be almost immeasurable. What of the things that we're hearing about today have some substance to them, as near as your reporting suggests, and what is just creative or possibly future-proved stories?
Well, I mean, take the whole memorial service. I mean, there's this plan out there, and you can see people on the July 4th holiday making this pilgrimage up to Neverland, and yet you talk to authorities, and people have no idea what's going to go on. In the courts, there hasn't been a lot of documents filed. There's been, there's a will that's supposedly out there, but in terms of what's substantive versus what's speculation. This is really driving the story at this point.
And the last one, we haven't mentioned that, this story that they might try to, somebody wants to bury him at Graceland and turn that into, or at Neverland and turn it into Graceland West. That, among other things, comes up against zoning restrictions. You can't bury a body on private property like that. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, I think even the Santa Barbara authorities are scratching their head, and nobody's come forward to offer that plan. Although there was an interesting letter describing some of the, some of the surroundings.
Andrew Blankstein of the LA Times. Many thanks once again, and good luck.
Thank you.